In this video, I'll be showing you two things, especially for foreign trained workers or foreign skilled professionals. The systems that have been put in place for you so that it will help you transition smoothly into the Canadian workforce. Secondly, I'll show you some of the jobs or some of the opportunities available for you. I don't want you to give up on your Canadian dream. Canada always needs workers, and this is your time to start the process and be job ready for the Canadian market. Now, let's go on to the tutorials and I'll show you the secrets I know about this. So we start by getting into the web browser. I'm going to paste this site and I will link it down in the description box so that you can easily click on it if you want to start. I'll put this link in the description site so that you can easily click on it if you want to start. Now, this is the foreign credential recognition, and that is the website, canada.ca/en/employment social development /programs. Yeah, I'll just put it in the description section so that you can easily copy and then follow the link there. So it says information for internationally trained professionals who want to work in regulated professions or compulsory trades in Canada. Guys, I want you to take note of this information. Listen, information for internationally trained professionals who want to work in regulated professions or compulsory trades in Canada. These jobs usually require a license or certification. Here you will find important information on how to get your foreign credentials recognized in Canada. Guys, this is not coming from me. This is coming from Canada.ca. This is the official Canada website and they are telling you this. And if you've been following me for a while, these are the things I've been teaching you. That get your license, no matter what you do, just make sure that you know the equivalence or the Canadian certification, which will be equivalent, and get your license ready. In this way, whenever there is a pilot, whether there is a caregiving pilot, there is a construction work pilot program, immediately the program opens, you get a job first. You are at a higher chance of getting a job because you have the Canadian equivalent already. So you can easily be more competitive in the market if there is a program. And you will be able to get a job offer as compared to someone who does not have a Canadian equivalent license. And that is what this page we are doing. On this page, I aim to help you be job ready for the Canadian market so that whenever there is a pilot, or even if there is not a pilot, there are a lot of PMP or provisional nominee programs going on, and you would have a better opportunity with these kind of licensing or certification. Now let's go back into it. So you scroll, just go down, right? I don't want to read everything. You can read on your own. Now this is the tool we need. So it says the foreign credential recognition in Canada tool. So as you all know, I'm a registered nurse. So let's start with nursing. So let's just type nurse and see. So it has popped up a lot of them. So you all know the nurse aide, which is like the care aide or care assistant, depending, people call it differently. So whichever way. And then we have midwives too. So a lot of midwives have been sending me emails asking about their pathway. Guys, this is the tool you need for your Canada immigration, especially with the work route or PR route. So I can just type the nurse and let's see what it gives us. So you can either put in a province, let's say Alberta, and then let's search. So when you come here, just go down. You see it says registered nurse in Alberta. So you can just scroll down. But I want you to take note that some of these, it says on this column, it says, please note that application process to practice as a nurse is different in Quebec, Yukon, Nunavut, and Northwest Territories. Okay, so it's only telling you that these people have a different process. So if you want to work in these kind of territories, they've given you their links already, right? But if you are working outside these provinces, then you can go ahead with whatever we are doing here, right? Let's scroll down and see. So here we chose Alberta, so it has given you the two credentialing bodies for nursing in Alberta, which is the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, College of Registered Psych Nurses of Alberta. And then it says, do you want to work in another province or territory? It said, if you're already certified to work in a regulatory occupation in your province, it will be easier for you to have your certification recognized in another province or territory. Guys, if you've been following me, these are the things I talk about all the time. And it's right there, okay? So it's telling you that Canada have workers mobility website. So because it's 13 provinces and territories, you can't keep registering everywhere. So once you get one province and you register there, it's easy for you to move in between provinces. So whoever has been following me, I always tell you, once you get one province registered, you just have to start looking for jobs, because once you are registered with one province, you are recognized already in Canada as a licensed professional. So every other province will be comfortable giving you a job because they know that it's easy to move in between provinces because of the workers mobility program that they have in Canada. We can go back to the tool to check British Columbia. So this is British Columbia, right? So British Columbia, it also gives us BCNU, which is British College of Nurses and Midwives. And if you are a registered psychiatric nurse, it's the same place. So let's try another occupation. Let's say construction. Construction worker. British Columbia. Okay, here. So the regulatory body is Skilled Trade BC, and it says construction craft worker laborer. So this is where you would have to look at their site, and then I want us to try a different program and then see. I get a lot of people asking me about physicians. So we can say physician resident, right? So we can say, let's say Alberta. You can just use any province and then you can search that. So you scroll down, we look for the tool. So here it says College of Physicians and Surgeons, Alberta. So this is where you have to get your license. So if you want us to check a particular trade, you can put that in the comment section and then I can look into that for you. If not, you can still do whatever, the same thing I'm doing, and then you get authority for each of the trade. We can also do electrician. Electrician for, let's say, Nova Scotia. Province of Nova Scotia. Let's search. Right, so it says Nova Scotia Apprenticeship Agency. So this is how it works for all the trades. Now we can just go there and see what is in that. So this is the apprenticeship agency for Nova Scotia. Okay, guys, so let's try another profession. We can try accountant, right? Accountant, so it's right there. And then let's see. Okay, now we can, this is what I was trying to do. I wanted us to get for the whole province. I think it's working now. So let's see, accountant. So it says this is what you typically need for the job. And it tells you the different degrees and all that, right? So here it gives you each province and the things they need. So let's say Alberta, it tells you, the regulatory body is right there. Okay, so each province have their regulatory body. Most of them is the CPA, right? So if you want to move to Canada as an accountant, and there's a way to get this chartered professional accountant certification, then it means that you are at a higher chance of getting a job here in Canada than your peers or other people competing. So we can also look at, let's say, teachers. So we'll just look through and see what is the right. So like high school, or we can even say teach primary school teacher, right? Can you see that? Primary school teacher, primary school. So let's search and see the options it gives us. It says these requirements are applicable to all elementary and kindergarten teachers. So here, elementary is like in Ghana, we say it's like a primary school. So that is what, and it also applies to kindergarten. So that is it here. We can go down, and I want you to take note of this because usually it gives you the basic requirements you need. It says a bachelor's degree in education is required, because I have people who have teaching experience for years, but they don't have the education degree. And that is my only problem with such a situation, because most of these require the bachelor's in education. So that is right then. And then it says a bachelor's degree in child development may be required. So it depends on the province or the situation. It said additional training is required to specialize in special education or second language instruction. Yeah, so for those who are into special education and those who are also teaching like English as a foreign language and those kind of things, you will need additional qualification. It says a provincial teaching certificate is required. So that is where, when it comes to the provinces, you would need their certificate or their license to teach there. And that is what it's talking about. Additional certification is required to teach English or French as a second language, right? And it says membership in a provincial or territorial teachers association or federation. So guys, that is it right there. So let's go down to see each province what they are talking about. So you can see that in Alberta they have Alberta Education, the registrar at Alberta Education teacher certification. If you come to BC, it also talks of Ministry of Education and Childcare. So as you can see, each province have, look at all that. Each province have their own regulatory body who are in charge of doing this, guys. It also tells you the jobs in these areas. So on this next tab, look here, it says jobs, right? Jobs. So it tells you the number of jobs. So this is the teaching jobs, right? And we are looking at primary school teachers in Canada. They've taught you how to do the credentialing. Now they are talking about jobs here. So we can try and see Alberta, view job posting. Okay, right there. If you've been following me, you've realized that I don't usually like job bank because it's just a lot. So the trick here is you can easily pick the school name, Edmonton Catholic School, and then you put it in Google, look for their official website, and then go there and apply the job or send them an email telling with your CV, with your credentials, and all other things. That is the secret to getting a job here in Canada. We can just look at the job prospects for nurse aid in Alberta. View postings. Good Samaritan Society, Happy Home Care. Can you see that? All about seniors and all that. So if you want a job in one of these, you can just copy just the just like family home care. We can try that, just like family home care. So this is it. And then you can go straight to their website. You can also look for their career website. Careers right there. And then it says work with us. for caregiving opportunities. So it asks you to, so we can choose Alberta, select this location right there, and then you can submit your details. But for the purpose of foreign trained workers, I like to use the government hospitals because most of them is easier for the transitioning because they are LMI exempt. So let's say in Alberta, I think it's Alberta Health Services. Those are the places I'll rather recommend you, especially for foreign trained skills, to look for the jobs because these are private institutions. So I would suggest the public hospitals or the government owned agencies for you to apply the jobs there. I hope this video was very significant to you, and I believe your Canadian dream has awakened one more time. I was in the same situation 10 years ago. I was just an admin officer, and I was just struggling to find, and I wish I knew this long time ago. But eventually I became a registered nurse, got licensed, and I am here in Canada. And in 6 months, I got my PR here in Canada. And that is the same thing I want you to do. It doesn't matter the time it will take you guys. For me, it took over 10 years for me to come this far. But I don't want your process to be as lengthy as mine. And that is why I created this page to help you. So wherever you are, whether you are in the US, UK, Europe, Africa, anywhere, Nigeria, Ghana, look, the key to moving smoothly to Canada is getting a licensed job, a job with a certification equivalent to the Canadian one. And that is the key to moving to Canada peacefully. So if there is a trade that you can learn in Nigeria, it could take you 2 years, 4 years. Make that as part of your plan and get into that trade. If I had known this 10 years ago, I would have pursued nursing back in Ghana at a more cheaper rate at my own time working and still going for it. Because when you move to Canada as a worker, your life is very easy. I don't discourage people to use student route. It is also a great way to get into Canada. And I love it that you learn and gain the Canadian education experience, and that also adds up to your score. But think of the cost it comes with it. You can use that same money to gain the skill in wherever you are at your own convenience and at a better price, at a better rate. Whilst you are working on whatever you are doing, you can still do and pursue that. So make the Canadian dream a short to long-term plan so that whilst you are pursuing your career towards your Canadian immigration plan, you are also living your life and saving and building up your statement for any other thing that will come out. I hope this video was very relevant to you. And if you like this information, please subscribe to my channel so that I can keep on doing what I'm doing. My name is Nesefia Christie, and thank you for watching. Bye.